Why we're willing to talk about this story is because Ronan deserves a voice. His voice is our family's power at this point, and it's what keeps us going. I got pregnant with Ronan on Thanksgiving Day is whenever I found out, and Raiden was about 3 years old. Whenever I had gone to the class, they had told me about the different sleep methods as far as laying the baby down on its back and no blankets in the crib, that type of thing. I thought I learned enough, and I got home and I told myself that wasn't gonna be me, you know. Ronan was gonna stay and he was gonna live day by day, and we were just gonna have a normal routine. He was 3 months. He had just turned 3 months, 6 days prior. So he was still very young. They told me about SIDS because I guess a baby, they can stop breathing in their sleep. Never did I think about it as suffocation until now. But SIDS I thought was just a sickness, and it was just like the flu. You know, if you had the flu, that you could possibly get very sick from it and pass that way. But we didn't think of it as, hey, you need to do this because if you don't and something occurs, then he could pass that way. The advice that I got from my family was just the way I did things. I mean, really, no one knew exactly what SIDS was. So when I had told my mother, when she would lay him down, at first I would say, hey, let's try and keep him on his back. And then she would tell me, well, he doesn't like to sleep on his back. And I knew that, you know, he just kept crying and crying and crying. I said, well, we're trying to train him to sleep on his back. And she said, okay, well, we'll keep trying that. And a few weeks went by and he didn't like it. He liked to sleep on his side. And she told me, well, you like to sleep on your side too. He's your son, you know. And so we started letting him sleep on his side. And even my husband's parents, they were the same way. I mean, they didn't really know the outcome of it. I had never heard of so many babies passing in the result of either SIDS or suffocation. I had no idea. And if I would have known that, then I would have changed my ways and methods of how to put my son down to sleep. And maybe Ronan would still be here. We had a normal routine of him and I, we would put Ronan on our bed because his room that he had was an office space, and it was right next to the living room. So it was too loud because our 4-year-old son would always scream and dance around the TV, and it would wake and startle Ronan in his room. So we decided, you know, let's start putting him in our room. It's a lot quieter in there, and it's comfier, and he can finally sleep. Well, I guess during that time, he came back out here to play with Raiden. About 20, 30 minutes passed by and he went to go check on Ronan. He was laying on his side. When he found him, he was laying on his back. And he suffocated. I guess he got really active to where he pushed himself out of his position and put himself into the down pillow by the headboard. A lot of people told us that it was it was from SIDS. The nurses at least told us that. Like, you know, what happened? Did he pass from SIDS? What's going on? Even my family told me that it was probably SIDS, and I thought that too. You know, I didn't think anything of suffocation. I didn't even know about suffocation. That was my last thought, which is the reason why we're here today. Because I think they were trying to keep it positive. They didn't want to make parenting so scary, I guess. But in situations like mine, I mean, how could you not tell someone about that and be cautious about it? Because in the result, you're losing your child, you know? So I would have absolutely loved to hear what the result of it could have been. We want to make sure that no one else has to go through what we went through, because it's very, very tragic and very, I mean, it's very hard day by day even to get through it. But we want to make sure that everybody is aware of safe sleeping methods.